Hydropower is created when moving water turns turbines to create electricity. The source of the moving water can be rivers, waterfalls, or the sea. Because flowing water continues to move, this creates an inexhaustible amount of energy, which can be stored and used when the demand is highest. There are a few drawbacks, however. Water-powered turbines can have a negative environmental impact on aquatic wildlife and can endanger boats. Also, creating hydropower dams causes land behind the dams to permanently flood. Finally, it is expensive to set up hydropower systems. The average cost is between $1 million and $4 million. To create wind power, large turbines are placed on top of hills or offshore. The wind turns the blades, which generate energy. Wind turbines can be utilized on a large scale or on a small scale. Unlike hydropower, this process is relatively cheap and is considered one of the most affordable forms of electricity today. Also, it does not harm the air or land it uses. However, many people consider wind turbines ugly and noisy. Also, they rely on the wind, so if it is not windy, no energy is produced. Finally, like hydropower, wind turbines can be a threat to wildlife such as local birds. To use solar energy, solar panels absorb sunlight and, using devices called photovoltaic cells, turn it into electricity. The sun produces energy constantly, which makes solar energy an inexhaustible resource. Another benefit is that it generates no pollution. Solar energy can be adapted to work on a variety of buildings and in a variety of environments. However, a large area of land is needed to produce a large amount of solar power. Scientists have determined that if we wanted to try to power the entire Earth with renewable solar power, we would need to cover a land area about the size of Spain with solar panels. In places with less sunlight, solar power generation has limitations. Also, photovoltaic cells are fragile and can be easily damaged. Biomass is a biologically produced fuel made from plant and animal material, which is mostly composed of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. It is the oldest source of renewable energy, used since humans first started burning wood for fire. Today, steam from burning biomass, made up of rubbish and other organic waste rather than wood, turns turbines, generating electricity. Biomass can regrow over a relatively short period of time compared to the hundreds of millions of years that it takes for fossil fuels to form. It is also an efficient way to generate power, and it is universal. Another benefit is that it reduces the need to bury rubbish under the ground in a landfill. However, some people are concerned that burning biomass contributes to global warming because it produces greenhouse gases. Also, using biomass to generate energy on a large scale can be expensive. With geothermal energy, heat which is trapped in the ground can be converted into steam to turn turbines. The power it generates can then be used to produce electricity and heat buildings. Geothermal energy uses relatively simple technology. Like several of the other energy sources already mentioned, this process causes no pollution and is inexhaustible. The most active geothermal resources are usually found in areas near volcanoes or where geothermal activity naturally occurs. The largest area of this kind is known as the Ring of Fire. It rims the Pacific Ocean and is bounded by Eastern Asia and the western edge of the Americas. Outside of regions like these, geothermal energy is usually unavailable. The initial costs of installing a geothermal energy system are very high, but once it is built, the running costs are low.